Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content.
Here we go. It is a Tuesday all-star lineup. Nick Wright, Greg Olsen stop by 1 hour from now. The Herd hierarchy. It is Veterans Day. Thank you to the men and women who so nobly serve our country. Thank you very much. J-Mac, we have a show today. There's some questions on what we all watched last night. It was a rough watch. I made sure I got a nap. I wanted to stay up late. Halfway through that game, I'm like, well, why did I stay up for this? It's unwatchable. But It does create a lot of interesting scenarios. That Packers schedule, pretty dicey going forward now that Chicago's legit. So let's start with this. Is Green Bay's problem a Jordan Love issue, a Matt LaFleur issue, injuries to wide receivers and tight end issue? Well, whatever, they've regressed in almost every offensive category 3 straight weeks. I don't feel like Matt LaFleur has a ton of trust for Jordan Love. I mean, how many yards passing in the first half? 39, 6 completions. Now, Jordan Love has great traits. 6'4", 220, good arm moves. He would be the number 1 pick if he came out today. Big, strong kid with a big-time arm, runs well. But I've seen Ben Johnson and Caleb grow in 8 to 9 weeks. We're 6 years into LaFleur and Jordan Love, and you get these weird stretches where it feels like they're grinding gears. We got 6 years of these two. Don't tell me it's defense. Philadelphia's defense, middle of the pack. Carolina held him to 13 points last week. Now, usually, if it's, a quarterback issue, even bad quarterbacks or limited quarterbacks are good on script, like J.J. McCarthy. Not Green Bay. Their offense is broken. They haven't scored an opening drive touchdown since week 4 against Dallas. They can't even get the scripted stuff right. So this offense is broken. Nothing's working. But you know what I felt last night watching this game? I felt like I was watching 2 quarterbacks who are dealing with the same thing. Is that the difference between Hurts and Jordan Love and the elite guys is noticeable when they don't have a run game. Okay, Justin Herbert is on a 3-game winning streak with the worst O-line in football on a 3rd-string running back. Mahomes won a Super Bowl with an average run game and a below-average receiving core. I mean, Lamar Jackson wins 12 games a year. Has he ever had a number 1 receiver? Good tight ends. Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love, they're not that. Both last year had an exceptional run game. You know where the Packers and the Eagles' run games are ranked this year? 20th, 21st. These guys need more. There's about 5 quarterbacks on the planet. Herbert's one of them, Mahomes, Lamar, Josh. They don't need a run game. I mean, Josh Allen got to an AFC championship with no run game years ago. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl with a bad O-line. That's not what these guys are. They are good quarterbacks and good guys and good leaders. They're not top 5 guys in the league. And top 5 guys don't need as much. Can get to Super Bowls with completely flawed teams. That Burrow team that got to the Super Bowl was wildly flawed. I mean, it's one of the least impressive rosters that's ever gotten to a Super Bowl. Go look at the Chargers O-line right now. Justin Herbert's getting hit 15 times, 3-game winning streak. So I think reality with Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts is when you give them a dominant run game, man, they're tough. They're thrown on play action. They're using their legs. They're good franchise quarterbacks. There's about 5 guys at any one time in my life in the planet that can reach conference championships, not have a good run game, bunch of injuries everywhere, coach is good, not great, incredibly rare. That's Burrow-esque. That's Lamar, right? Here's Matt LaFleur after.
I don't sense any quit in there, obviously. It's a good football team that we went against. And we just got to be better offensively is really the message. And I thought our defense played really well. I thought we did some good things on teams. And unfortunately, like I said all along, it's just you got to find a way to score more points. And it starts with myself, and then there's some level of execution that has to go with that as well.
Listen, Matt LaFleur is a good coach. Is he Andy Reid? Probably not. Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson? Probably not. Good coach. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. He's not great. He's good. And by the way, if you have a good quarterback, Daniel Jones, who's now become a good quarterback with some flaws, fumble issues, they're going to win their division. They're going to host a playoff game. The problem for Green Bay is, Detroit's got a better roster, and Chicago's legitimate. Go look at that Packers schedule. That loss last night, it's going to get tricky navigating this. They got to figure out that offense. They are lost right now. All right, so I don't know if you noticed this last night with Micah Parsons. He didn't have a sack. He didn't have a quarterback hit. Let me check the stats. Oh, it's the second straight game. No sacks, no quarterback hits. Remember when the Cowboys traded him? The reaction was completely over the top. You were only allowed one opinion. Oh, this is a heist for the backers. Oh, they stole him from Jerry and the Cowboys. But there was this one singular voice in the American sports landscape. Just a tiny, humble voice from a tiny, humble man, me, who said, I get it. I get it. I've seen Micah get engulfed by good left tackles. What are his playoff numbers? There's a way to go at Micah. Yeah, remember that? I was the one guy that raised his hand and said, I got a couple first-round picks and Kenny Clark. All right. Green Bay last season through 9 games, 6-3. Green Bay this season through 9 with Micah, 5-3-1. Dallas last year through 9 games, 3-6. Dallas this year through 9, 3-5-1. This is not the NBA, where an amazing dunk, a windmill dunk, can supersede production. It will define you. Dunks will define you. This is the NFL. And Micah's rep has always been he is a splash player, a remarkable athletic splash player. He's not good against the run. Right now, edge rushers, he's 28th in the league against the run. Myles Garrett is elite at both. TJ Watt, good against the run and the pass. He's more versatile. Max Crosby, good against the run, great against the pass. That's not Micah. I mean, the truth is, I was talking this summer to an NFL GM. As a humble man, I was on a park bench all by myself, just me and the iPhone. And I was talking to an NFL GM. And I said, what would you do with Micah? And this GM said, the funny thing about Micah, when he got to Dallas, they tried to make him a linebacker and drop him into coverage. That didn't last very long because he couldn't do it. This GM said he doesn't have great eyes. He's more the heat-seeking missile. See the quarterback, get him. See the ball, get it. There's nothing wrong with that. DeMarcus Lawrence of the Seahawks joked around this weekend. He said, our defense in Seattle for me is see ball, get ball. It's kind of an old expression in the NFL. Micah is a great athlete and a heat-seeking missile. He is great to have in Green Bay when they lead games in the fourth quarter. But when they don't and the offense dries up, he's not very good against the run. And so Philadelphia at the end of a game can try to run the clock down and just run at Micah. I'm not saying he's not worth a first-round pick. I'm not saying he doesn't have value. On the right team, Bill Polian told me this years ago, when your offense is humming, you get a Peyton Manning. Next thing you need, a left tackle, then an edge rusher. Because you're going to be leading games with 6 minutes to go, and they have to pass. The other guys have to pass. So I like the move for Green Bay. But this idea, it made no sense for Dallas. No, I get it. Kenny Clark and 2 firsts? I get Kenny Clark's a good player. So Jerry Jones, remember after the Micah trade that was panned by everybody, Jerry had a little tell on his view on Micah.
Micah is special, and we all know he is, and he can be disruptive. But we have huge amounts of experience with the anecdotes that we've seen used on us for the last 4 years. Right. And while he does make great plays, there is also a way to approach playing against Micah, as we know, because we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl during those years.
Yeah, they tried him at linebacker. No, he wasn't that versatile. You can run at him. He's great when Green Bay's offense is humming. But the last 2 weeks, Green Bay's offense isn't humming. So teams that face Green Bay don't have to, in obvious downs, throw. They don't have to. They can run, they can throw, they can do play action. It's what Carolina did, what Philadelphia did, and you can run at him. So I can think two things. Love Micah, great fit for the Packers. But the reaction was so overwrought that Dallas got nothing from it. 2 firsts and Kenny Clark. That's pretty good. Now they have Quinnen Williams, still 2 firsts next year. That's pretty good. When Dallas drafts an edge rusher with their first pick in the next draft, because they don't need a quarterback, they're going to have Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and a first-round edge rusher. That's elite. That's why the Eagles went and got Jalen Phillips, because they got 2 interior guys that are great, and now they've got an elite edge rusher, Phillips. So, just saying. There was a small, timid man, a humble man in the forest of yelling and screaming, J-Mac. You remember that day when we just said, slow down, 2 firsts, Kenny Clark is a very nice package. You could, because you don't need a quarterback, you could move down in the first and get more picks with it because the 7 teams need a quarterback. So I think Micah last night, no sacks, no quarterback hits, 2nd week in a row.
Well, you're my dear friend. I like you a lot. I'll just stand aside and say I disagree with this take badly. I won't tell you that Micah is still the Defensive Player of the Year favorite, that he's 3rd in the league in pressures, that the Packers are going to be fine defensively. I got questions about Jordan Love, but I still think Packers won that deal handily.
All right. Herd hierarchy 1 hour from now. What do we do? Who's the best team in the league? Who's the 2nd, 3rd? What do we do with the Chiefs in Denver? Well, Denver's better. Well, their record is, but look who the favorite in the game is. Do you put Buffalo in? Do you put Green Bay in? Talk about all that stuff coming up.
What's poppin', Bears Nation? Spencer Locke, co-pilot, RC-135. Proud to serve at Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska. Like any other good Chicago suburban, all I want for Christmas this year is some shredded cheese. Bear down, baby!
Well, he's feeling pretty good about it. Thanks again. We're saluting all the people who serve this great country, the men and women, your honor, your integrity, and your work ethic and commitment. Thank you so much. A lot of Bears fans these days. A lot of Bears fans. So for the first time in forever, Chicago's offense is better than Green Bay's offense. Everything, big plays, run game, offensive line. PFF has the Bears O-line at 7th, the quarterback. In fact, the Bears offense against the Packers offense, it's startling. Big plays, the Bears have 78. Packers have 57. They have a better run game, significantly. So also, I'll take DJ Moore and Rome Odunze over a lot of Packer receivers. It's starting to feel like, now that Kraft is gone, receiver and tight end by committee. Also, the Bears have been great in close games this year. The Packers have been bad. So whatever that clutch gene is, Caleb has it. So, it's a good question. Jordan Love's peak, was it 2023 against the Cowboys in Dallas playoff game? Remember that? What's Caleb Williams' peak? Sunday? So it does feel like one is absolutely ascending. I think the thing that's most impressive, last year, Caleb sacked 68 times. This year, 14. So listen, he's getting the messaging. He's coachable. And that's like a big thing. Like the more extraordinary a quarterback's talent is, sometimes they're going to do what they do. I've always said this. Lamar Jackson, I can see that he takes to coaching. He doesn't have to. He'd still win 70% of his games. I can see Caleb taking to coaching. When you get that A-plus quarterback talent, it doesn't take long, right? Like the Bengals did not win a playoff game for 31 years. Joe Burrow's already won 5, and he's been hurt a lot. The Buffalo Bills, 2000 to 2018, had 3 winning seasons. They're on their 7th straight winning season. So Drake May, Caleb Williams are A prospects. They erase a lot of things quickly. I mean, let's be honest about New England. We said going into the season, they don't really have a number 1 receiver, a number 1 tight end. The O-line's okay. He's kind of erased all of that. Remember when I used to call LeBron the human eraser in Cleveland? He didn't have an all-star around him. They got to the finals. I mean, it's just that's what great does. I think Chicago's got much better personnel, top to bottom, than New England does. But Drake May and Caleb have this ability. They erase stuff. They can play bad for a half, 3 quarters, and then turn it on in the 4th quarter. And they're the launch pad. A great quarterback is a launch pad, the rocket booster for success. And you look at those numbers, Bears and Packers. It's not just the big plays. Caleb was a better prospect. Caleb's got a bigger arm. The run game for Chicago now is elite. It's hard to cheat on the run game when you got Caleb moving outside. So it's noticeable. And again, Green Bay feels stuck. Chicago feels like it's ascending. Chicago's really been good in these close games. Should get better, right, young team? Green Bay feels stuck in close games. J-Mac with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
All right, Colin, let's start with the NBA. Huge breaking news just before the show came on. Nico Harrison, the embattled GM of the Dallas Mavericks, has been fired. Yes, the man who delivered Luka to the Lakers. Thank you, Nico Harrison. He got his walking papers this morning from the Mavs. Dallas is off to a brutal start this season. I believe they are 3-8. Another tough loss last night to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, if Kyrie Irving doesn't get hurt, they wouldn't be as rudderless, and it may feel different because he didn't get fired after the trade.
Right.
But then when you watch them now, and it's not just that they're losing, but they're a mishmash of too young and not lead. They don't have a leader on the floor. And then you can't ask Cooper Flagg. He should be in high school. He should be his first year at Duke. So they just don't have an offense. So in an offensive league, it's a really ugly look. Again, they could have this record if they were fun offensively, kind of had a direction. We're losing close games late. It's not that. It's like an NFL team that can't complete passes. Like they're so hard to watch that you're kind of stuck. And now Nico's going to take the fall.
As you see on the screen, it's all been a disaster. Now, listen, I'm not defending his trade at all. I still think it was a horrible trade. But Kyrie Irving, I believe, as you said, went down something like a week or 2 after the trade. And his timeline was, hey, the next 3 years we're in the mix with Kyrie, with Anthony Davis. And, of course, now Kyrie out for the year. Yeah. And Anthony Davis is now hurt at the beginning of the season. I know they got Cooper Flagg, but as you said, he's 18 years old. Dallas Mavericks fans were chanting fire Nico basically all season at home. Klay Thompson's been a disaster. Yeah. Listen, sometimes the best laid plans, they just go sideways. And we'll never get to find out
think about
if
this.
Kyrie and AD would work.
When he made the move, immediately after, the Mavericks fell apart. Like 4 guys got hurt. And this year, Kyrie gets hurt. So if nobody ever got, if they had the, AD, if they had the average number of injuries an NBA team has, they're kind of like the 49ers in the NFL of the NBA. Like their stars are always hurt. If they didn't have those injuries, Nico would be fine. They would have been a better team last year. The press would have pulled back. But new owners in Dallas, Mark Cuban, not the owner now, they listen to this stuff. The environment in the home arena is bad. Reportedly, the players like playing on the road better than at home. So you had to do something.
It's just a tough spot. Cooper Flagg did look great last night, by the way, in the loss to
That was his best game as a pro.
Yeah, best game. I think he had 26. All right, let's move on to the L.A. Chargers, Colin. Very nice win over Aaron Rodgers and company on Sunday Night Football. They're looking to keep pace in the AFC West. Obviously, the Broncos battle the Chiefs, and, you know, the Chargers, they're hanging tough there. Justin Herbert, man, I'm worried about him, Colin. Sacked 5 times, was hit 9 times against the Steelers, had his ankle rolled up on it. You know, an ordinary guy probably would be down for the count. Here's Jim Harbaugh on the ankle injury suffered by Herbert.
Any concern there at all with his physical status?
I do have an update on his physical status. He is still a beast.
Oh, I love that guy. Obviously, Chargers have the Jags this weekend. Obviously, the Jags stink, but be careful.
That's it. Okay, every week I tell you I'm staying away from a game. Okay, so Philadelphia, Green Bay last night. I'm staying away from that thing. A couple weeks ago, it was Denver, Houston. A weird vibe. Jags, Chargers is a stay away game. I mean, Jags can rush the passer. The Chargers O-line is, I'm not sure there's been an O-line this bad in years. They're on third string. Everybody PFF has them like last at their position. You can win some home games over teams like that. Hard to win roadies cross country. Tough.
So remember, they went to Tennessee a few weeks ago and they were huge favorites. I took the bait. And then they give up a punt return touchdown. Herbert has a pick six. They don't cover. They did get the win. This could be a close game. We'll see if Jacksonville gets healthier at wide receiver. Maybe Brian Thomas is back. But I don't know. Do you really think the Chargers get through to the playoffs, Colin? And I ask, because of the injuries, I don't know that they can overcome both tackles gone.
This is the difference. This is really the difference between a star quarterback and like Brock Purdy, who's good, or Jordan Love, who's good. Brock Purdy last year, teams dinged up. Against playoff teams, he was 1-6. Justin Herbert, with the worst O-line in the league and no number one receiver, has won 3 straight games. The difference between the Herberts, and he's a top 5 or 6 guy, and the good quarterbacks, we just watched last night. Take away the run game from Hurts and Jordan Love, and they shrink. Justin Herbert is the singular best example in this league. Mahomes has been for years. He doesn't have a run game. He doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have a number one receiver. He gets hit more than any quarterback. So what? He wins games. And that is the absolute Burrow's Super Bowl team is the greatest example I've ever seen of a star quarterback with an average roster, good receivers, average roster, getting to a Super Bowl. Herbert's got that quality.
So I'm looking at the schedule, Colin. This is not great for Herbert's health, knowing that offensive line. They still have games against Philadelphia. We saw how nasty their defensive front is. We know Spagnuolo is going to dial up pressure, and they have to face Houston and Denver. Those are 4 of probably the best front sevens in the 4 of the top 10 front sevens in the league. Yeah. If they lose all 4 of those, that's 7 losses. I don't know if that gets them to the playoffs in the AFC.
I don't know if it does either. I picked them as I had them for 3rd in their division. I said Denver, Kansas City, Chargers, and I feel pretty strong. I like Kansas City this weekend over Denver.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm worried about the Chargers now. All right, final story, Colin. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills. Interesting subplot here for the Buffalo Bills. So the offense has not been amazing. They went scoreless for the first 3 quarters against lowly Miami. This is where it gets interesting. Yesterday, Brian Daboll was fired by the Giants. We know where Brian Daboll was previously in Buffalo. He didn't create Josh Allen, but he was with him as he rose to become a superstar. So is there a world where the Bills move off of Joe Brady, their OC, and bring in Brian Daboll? Well, of course, Sean McDermott was asked about it. Here's what he had to say.
Joe's a good coach. He really is. We've got a really good offensive staff. They've had really good games. You're gonna have some games you want back, some play calls you want back. Those happen. So it's how you respond to them, and I'm fully confident in our offensive staff.
Would there be any consideration to reaching out to him to see if he had any interest in joining the staff in any way?
Yeah, no, I understand why you're asking that. Brian's a great coach. It's unfortunate to see that happen to him. At this point, that's not under any type of consideration.
I'd hire Brian Daboll. I'd say, here's a couple, Hundy. I want you to look at our offense, and I just tell me what you see.
Yeah. In an advisor role, right?
Yeah.
We'll bring him on as an advisor.
I like that.
Well, if I'm the Buffalo Bills OC, think about this, Colin. Let's say I was struggling here in my role, and you said, we're going to bring on someone as an advisor, J-Mac,
I love
just
that.
to help you out.
Yeah, we may have somebody like doing that right now. Who knows?
Well, I would instantly fire up the old resume and see what else is out there. Because I know once you do that, I think it's going to bring in a little panic to Buffalo. The problem is Daboll knows Allen well. He knows the head coach well. So this is a tough spot for Buffalo. And Colin, let's be real. They better go all in here. I still think the Bills, at their full strength, are the best team in the AFC. I know you disagree. That's fine. But I don't think you mess around here. If they screw up and cannot deliver against Tampa, I think Brian Daboll will be in some kind of role on the Bills in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Buffalo is what I've watched. I watched them get housed. I watched them lose to Atlanta.
And beat Kansas City, though. Pretty handily.
At home, game of the year, circle it, barely. I mean, they had the greatest effort of the year, and then the next week, they were bad before it, they were bad after it.
Okay.
I mean,
So who's the best team in the AFC, Colin? Right now.
Kansas City.
Come on.
Maybe Baltimore.
4 and 5 Baltimore right now is the best team?
Herd hierarchy isn't standings. That's the other network. I don't do standings. I do who the best team is now, today.
If you have the Ravens at number 1 in the AFC in the herd hierarchy,
what?
I'm out. You do the final 2 hours solo. No way. I'm not standing for that, Colin.
J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So, if you had to say who are the 10 most important people in the NFL, and I'm counting everybody. Mahomes and Andy Reid are way up there. Jim Harbaugh is going to get votes. Josh Allen's going to get votes. Myles Garrett, all 31 other teams would want him if he was on the market. And honestly, if you could get him, most teams would do it. How about Howie Roseman, GM of the Eagles? Top 10. Anybody watch Jalen Phillips last night? Yeah, unlike Micah, 52 snaps, 7 pressures, 6 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, and a fumble recovery. Why are the Eagles the team that always makes moves like this? An elite pass rusher for a third-round pick, and if he doesn't re-sign with them because he's a free agent, they get a third-round pick back. The Dodgers defer payments to stack their roster. Your billionaire that owns a baseball team can do the same thing, right? The Eagles have made 9 trades since training camp. The gap in this league between how the Bengals operate and how the Eagles operate is the gap between the Pirates and the Dodgers. You can defer payments. The Dodgers are doing it. Anybody could do it. So I look at Howie Roseman. I think he's one of the 10 most important people in the league. Jalen Phillips was a 5-star recruit in high school, dominant player. Goes to UCLA, great player, gets banged up. He goes to the Dolphins, 8.5 sacks his rookie year. He was available. Miami, we were talking about it for 3 weeks. Miami's going to make moves. Why is it always Howie Roseman? Philadelphia is the best team, arguably, over the last 5 years in the NFC. We don't love the quarterback. We don't love the coach. It's Howie Roseman. So, and we're all products of our environment, and I think this is the psychology that Howie Roseman gets. We're all products of our environment. There are a lot of people listening or watching the show right now. You are excellent at what you do. Your boss stinks and your company stinks. If I put you, the same person, man or woman, in a better company with a better boss, you'd flourish. Right? Because you go to work with a bad company, you go to work with a bad boss, you're just treading water. Right? We're none of us are born in a test tube. Our environments matter. The people around us. So you take a Jalen Phillips, he's just, again, great pass rusher. When Miami leads, that would be great. But in the fourth quarter, when he was there, Miami trailed a lot. So teams are running against Miami. Now you put him in Philadelphia. Philadelphia leads in the second half. Then they can pin the ears back, and Jalen Phillips can go after you. And you're watching that game last night. He jumps off the television. He's been a tremendous, tremendous player. Now he's in a more uplifting, joyful, optimistic, positive environment. It wasn't hard to figure out. I'm watching him. I'm like, why is it always Howie? Here's Jalen Phillips on his big game last night at Lambeau.
I just felt super grateful. It was the first time in a while that I've gotten a little emotional before a game. Just, obviously this stage and, coming here is my first time at Lambeau, walking out through that tunnel. It doesn't get better than that. So, yeah, I'm definitely grateful. Felt amazing energy from the guys. It was just an air of confidence and and, you know, everybody played together. We had a great game, honestly. It was super gritty. So, yeah, I'm just grateful to be here for sure.
Everybody went crazy on the Micah deal. This was a heist. A third-round pick for a potential rental player, or you could sign him. I mean, he's a tremendous player. It's funny, in college, he had some injuries. Did he, retire briefly from football in college at UCLA? But I can remember watching his high school tape. Unbelievable five-star recruit. He's always been a great player. And it was just when Seattle went out and got Rashid Shaheed, the receiver, it's like that is going to pay dividends. John Snyder, great GM. You watched that game last night. I mean, it's when you can, like Myles Garrett's like this, when you can turn the TV on and you're a casual, let's say you're a casual fan, you don't know all the defensive players. You watched that game last night. There was a play where he literally grabbed the defensive end. I think we showed it on the tape, pushed him over and made the tackle to the running back. That is elite. That is really, really hard to do. Yeah, here it is right there. That is an incredible play.